We've got people who want to today. All right, so welcome to our Less Waste, More Food with Thermomix class for you guys. We put this on because you do have the opportunity for an early activity bonus to earn this. How many of you guys have already earned your copy? Who's put their first sale through? Yeah, Ben, I saw you had one. Yeah. Awesome. Lots of you guys. So I'm hoping they'll dispatch those before the end of the month. I'm guessing that they will. So it's awesome. I love it. One of my favorite things about this book is in each section, and I don't know if I shared this part in my live, in each section, it's got a little get inspired part like this, and it gives you a list of cookie dough recipes to try with that ingredient. And so there's a lot more resources in this book than just what's in here. Cool. All right, we're going to start with Elman because she's got the longest dish for us tonight.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm doing the sweet potato korma with crispy potato skins. All right, so, and I must say, since I've been doing this manually, I'm so much appreciative of my TM6 guided cooking. You don't have to lose your space as you go along. Right, so I've done a couple of steps beforehand because otherwise it's going to just take a little bit too long. So the first thing that I've done, taken the cumin seeds, a tablespoon of cumin seeds and a tablespoon of coriander seeds, 6 cardamom pods, half a cinnamon quill, and I dry roasted it in the Thermomix. And that's what's so nice about with the Thermomix, that you can dry roast your spices that you can get going. Right, so after that, I've molded, and you've got this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, I'll try that. Yeah, there you go. Right, so it's quite a nice, and it's a beautiful flavorsome aroma that you have of the spices that you mixed through to that. The tip that I can give you with that, when you mull your spices, make sure that you've got your little paper towel and just put it underneath the measuring cup while you're mulling it. All right, don't keep it there just for the mulling part of it. Right, so that will prevent it from going all over the place. Now, once that I've done that, I've added in there, because I've just done 5 minutes that we've done here. So we've added in ghee, bay leaves, 4 whole cloves, 125 grams of onion, raw cashews, ginger, garlic, a long chili, a green chili that we've put in there, salt and turmeric. Okay, so, and we had to cook that, I had to cook that for another 5 minutes. That's basically just to unleash the flavors that was in there. Right, so what I need to do now, what the next steps is, I'm going to take all of the spice that I've just made, add it in there, and that needs to cook for another 2 minutes to sort of incorporate those flavors and just make that aroma or depth of flavor that you want to get that going. So that's going to cook now for 2 minutes. All right, so with that, once that's done, I'm just going to explain to you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add some coconut milk, 140 grams of coconut milk, 50 grams of yogurt, and some lemon juice. And then we are going to blend all of that to make it a beautiful, nice and smooth sauce that we're going to cook the vegetables in. Right. And then once that's done, I'm so happy that I've got a second bowl and blade, because I don't have to wait for that to be done. So you have to put in your potato peeler, because this recipe is with the potato peeler. And once you've got your potato peeler in there, you can add your vegetables to it. So at the moment, I've got beautiful, these little yellow squash that I just quartered to get that done. And I've done some sweet potato, just in 3 centimeter cubes, and some cauliflower in florets. So those vegetables are going to go into the bowl on top of the blade cover. And once the sauce is being blended, that sauce will be poured on top of them, and that's going to cook for another 25 to 35 minutes. Okay, so that is the process that we're going to do and get that done, and I will show you the end product. Okay, so I'm just going to cook that now for 2 minutes. Then I'm going to add all the other stuff and blend it for a minute and steep and cook it for another 25 minutes. All right, and that will be the chicken korma, and I'll show you when it's done.
Elman, are you doing chicken or sweet potato?
Did I say chicken?
That's right. They kind of go together, you know.
Right. No. The orange bits are sweet potato.
Awesome.
But I think with this recipe, it really leans to it that you can. This is vegetarian. You can use any type of vegetables, but I'm sure that when you want to add some protein in there, you can easily do that, either by doing chickpeas if you want to keep it vegetarian, or you can just chop up some chicken and pop it in there at the last minute of cooking. Oh.
Awesome. And before we move to Megan, I wanted to welcome Nanette, who's here as a special guest with us tonight. Hi, Nanette. Welcome. Lovely to have you in the room with us. And we're going to ask you guys, so between each presenter, what we want is someone to share a story from the last couple of weeks in their business. Who's got one? Actually, I'm nominating the first person, so the rest of you, she knows I'm going to nominate. Oh, Philippa, you go first, and then I'm going to come to the other person next time. We can't hear you, Philippa.
What about now?
Yep, good.
So I had a really awesome referral from obviously a customer, a previous customer. It's her mum's neighbor. And then we got chatting over the phone. Took a while to kind of get them actually locked in for a day. And then I said, look, the black one is coming. Would you want to, because she was ready to buy. And then the black one dropped. And I said, but I don't want you to get like FOMO. If you want the black one, it's coming, but it's just going to take a little longer. They're like, nah, we'll get that. So their first cooking experience was their delivery demo. And then she's got the mother-in-law to buy one like 3 days later. So they are loving it. They're like, we'll do another demo at her house so we can learn more. And then can we have you back over at our house again? And we'll do another one because we want to learn more. I took them some butter chicken spices because we were talking about that. He'd already been to the shop the next day and got everything to make the full-on butter chicken. So really cool experience.
So good. Love it. And the best part is they get to learn together.
Yeah.
Which is where those delivery demos with customers is really powerful. Awesome. Love it. Thank you, Philippa. All right, Megan, you're up next, making the piccalilli. I don't know if everyone knows what that is, so you might have to explain.
I will. So I was really excited when I looked at this book when Claire was in Wollongong last time, and I flicked through and saw this piccalilli recipe because I love pickled things. Recently, we got a very rare adults night out and we went to a new gin bar in Wollongong, and they served a plate of pickled veggies with all of our gins, and it was so yummy. And I just thought, why am I not making pickles? It's so crazy that I'm not. So when I saw this recipe for piccalilli, I was like, right, I'm starting my pickling now. So piccalilli is an English interpretation of an Indian spiced pickled vegetables. And it's kind of like you might have seen it as a sweet mustard pickle kind of thing. So it's awesome for using up the leftovers in the bottom of your fridge. And I'd be really embarrassed to show you what my veggies looked like before I cut them up today. But I get my box divvy delivery on a Thursday. So it was actually perfect for me to go through my crisper drawer last night where things were not looking very crisp. And I had a kind of floppy carrot and a bit of cauliflower that had sort of fallen apart. But they were perfect to put into my my piccalilli mix. So I needed 450 grams of veggies, just broken up into pieces. So I've got some cauliflower. I had an apple cucumber that had a few black spots on it, which I chopped around. My floppy carrot, some capsicum. I had one like little French onion or shallot, which I sliced up. It does say that if you want it to be a little bit spicier, you can add some chili and some garlic. So I finely sliced one garlic clove and half a long red chili. And I think that's everything. So pop that all into your varoma, 2 tablespoons of salt over the top, and let that, so you can use any veg, Annie, whatever you like. And the salt just draws all that extra moisture out. So you let that sit overnight, get rid of all that extra moisture. And here we are right now ready to go with that. So what we're going to do is weigh in some spices and toast them. So I've got some scales, 30 grams of oil, Now it says sunflower oil, but I'm using olive oil. Oops. And then we've got mustard seeds, coriander seeds, and turmeric. And we're going to roast those for 3 minutes. Uh, 3 minutes, 100 degrees, stir. Yeah, so we'll pop them on. So they suggested any other veggies, green beans, shallots, pearl onions, zucchini, capsicum, carrots, seeded cucumber, or a mixture of all of these. So you could just do one thing if you wanted to. Oh, please just put that in the chat. But it was really good to just be able to use up some of those veggies that might otherwise have not made it into dishes. And yeah, what else? This you can use it on as a spread, like on sandwiches and things like that. You can pop it on your ploughman's platters and things like that once it's done. So I've left mine relatively chunky for that reason, to be able to put it onto platters and that kind of thing. But Claire, I'm not sure if you want to go to someone else for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Can I ask, would you do this? Could you do it sugar-free? Would it still preserve and work?
I don't know about that.
It's got quite a bit of apple cider vinegar, but
A lot of apple cider vinegar, 150 grams of sugar. I don't know. Has anyone done much pickling?
Usually with pickles, the amount of vinegar that you need to put in to safely preserve it means that you need to put in a lot of sugar to make it palatable. So if you did want to make it sugar-free, normally the sugar doesn't do any preservation. You would need to really love the apple cider vinegar taste.
right. Okay. So, all right. So it's not the
You can't drop them both down.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly show you, because I've blended all of the ingredients for the sauce. So you can see it's quite a nice bright yellow color that we have. So that's what it looks like. And it smells absolutely divine. Right, so what this is now going to happen is I'm going to pour it on top of these, stir it through, and then cook that for another 25 minutes. In the meantime, I will be crisping up the sweet potato skins and curry leaves, make it nice and crispy and ghee, and that's going to be on top of this korma.
Right. How long you? All right. Let's share another story. So, who has a story to share from their Thermomix business? Nat, just jump off while everybody else has a chance to think of theirs.
Thanks, Claire. Okay, I'm assuming Claire's talking about last week when I was driving home. I rang her on Monday coming home. I'd driven halfway to Bateman's Bay for a delivery and a cooking experience, and it was the best. Going out there, the lady had herself and her mum, and she had her brother-in-law on Zoom because he was from Canberra and he can't drive at night. And it was absolutely fabulous. I walked away feeling absolutely amazing. Driving in there, I actually sent my husband my location because I was scared, because it's in the middle of the bush. But driving out of there, I thought this was absolutely amazing. I felt so good about what I was doing. It was like I'd been talking to Claire and Jody quite a bit, and it was like that was the final piece to the puzzle. It was like, yes, I'm there, I'm good, I'm done. I just need to keep that momentum going. So, but it was heaps of fun. She's a really lovely lady, and I can't wait to go back out there. She's got some other friends that are looking at either joining the business or just holding their own cooking experiences, and they're in Sydney, so that's no issue for me. I'll just pop up there for a weekend.
Amazing. Thank you. And just highlights the joy that we get from the business. And it's, not always about outcomes. It's about the people that we meet and the experiences that we have. So yeah, so cool. Hey, Megan, how's your up to?
Right, so that's just ended. And what I've done now is added some mustard powder, corn flour, and a little bit more apple cider vinegar, and just mix that together to a paste, which I'm now going to add in. Whew. And mix that for 15 seconds on speed 4.
while Megan's doing that, I just wanted to say hello to all those who have joined since we started. Alana, Lisa, Julie, Vicky, Sarah, lovely to, and Therese. I don't think we said hi to you. So lovely to have you guys in the room with us.
So I was just thinking with, because once these pickles are finished in a minute, we pop them in a jar and leave it for a month to eat. Does some of that sugar break down and ferment? Or not?
No, you don't want fermentation.
It doesn't
there.
ferment. Okay. Told you I'm new to pickles.
I don't think so.
Wondering whether maybe that got
Yeah.
fake.
I think if it has corn flour, it probably wouldn't. It might not be good for
Yeah.
me.
So what happens with you've got fruits and vegetables are different acidity, and what you need to low acid vegetables can create like a safer, so you can say jams and that will last longer, whereas you've got vegetables, that's why you need to increase the acidity, and it's to stop things like botulism growing in there and all of that bacteria that they won't grow in an acidic environment. But when you have fermentation, that's something totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, in with all of that sugar then, Claire, 150 grams of sugar, 220 grams of vinegar. So it is quite a lot of apple cider vinegar, just so make sure you get the good stuff.
Hang on, Megan. Sorry, Christina, what were you going to share?
No, I wasn't going to share. I was just going to ask, what's the corn flour for?
I guess because it's making like the mustardy sauce.
Okay.
With it,
It's only 1 tablespoon, so you could probably omit it. It just
It's not that. I kind of had in my head that it was more like a pickle, like Italians do this thing called giardiniera, which is like the pickled vegetables like you had. And then when you said you're putting corn flour in it, I was just a bit confused. That's all.
This is the picture in the book.
So it's like a relishy kind of.
Yeah, it looks like your sweet mustard pickle kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Claire?
Yeah.
I made some in January and it said you had to wait a month, but no one could wait. And it was still really lovely within a few days.
Oh, good. Because I was going to make this last weekend because I really felt like eating it then. And I was like, wait a month. Oh, no, I need to make something else I can eat today. So I've just added a little bit of salt and so sugar, vinegar, teaspoon of salt. Cook 10 minutes, 100 degrees. All right. So you can go to someone else for 10 minutes.
All right. We're going to Kate. Kate's making us some herb paste. Sounds delicious.
I'm here. I'm just having a coughing fit.
Oh no, Kate.
Okay. So I'm doing 2 recipes tonight, both super easy, like Elman, because it's not on guided cooking yet, and Claire just took a screenshot and texted it to me. I had to write notes on paper, which I don't really like doing. But so the first one I'm going to do, first recipe is a pumpkin seed mix, and it's actually using the seeds out of a pumpkin. So we're not wasting any. I don't know if anyone has ever done this before. I actually used to do it years ago when I only used to buy organic veggies. I didn't ever want to waste anything, so I used to roast the pumpkin seeds. But I just want to show you a tip to get them out of your pumpkin. If you do have one of our kitchen toolkits, the little ice cream scoop, it's really great for just scooping out the seeds. We had that as an incentive last month, so I'm not too sure how many of you got it. All right, so I did that earlier today. I scraped all the pumpkin seeds out. I then popped them into my Thermomix bowl with 500 grams of water, swished it around for about 10 seconds on reverse, just to wash off all the pulp. And then I roasted them. So that's what I'm left with. So the recipe actually asks for 100 grams of roasted pumpkin seeds. I don't think I have 100 grams here, so we'll check. So what I'm going to do, I've only got like 30 grams. The recipe said to use seeds out of a whole pumpkin. I only had half a pumpkin.
They must need a pretty big pumpkin then.
I know, yeah. And I don't often buy whole pumpkins because I just find I don't use them all. So what I'm going to do is, in the recipe tips, it actually says if you don't have the full weight of pumpkin seeds, is to just top it up with another seed. So I've just got some sunflower seeds, but you could use like linseed seeds or hemp seeds as well. So this actually isn't really going to be a pumpkin seed mix. It's going to be a sunflower seed mix. All right, so they're in. I've also got the oven heated at 160 as well, because we are going to roast these. I'm then going to add in, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes, 100 grams of mixed nuts as well. So it's more like a seeded nut mix. So I just got some raw almonds and raw cashews, so they're going to go in. We're also going to add in 20 grams of tamari. Tamari, for those of you that don't know, it's essentially a gluten-free soy sauce. So you can just use normal soy sauce if you don't have tamari. And also 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil, or whatever oil you want. All right, so now we're just going to mix that up for 20 seconds on reverse. Speed one. All right, so after, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you still hear me? When that comes out, I'm just going to spread it back onto the tray that I have the pumpkin seeds on. And it's going to cook for about 15 minutes. So I can see, so it looks like I spread it on the tray. It actually looks really good. Actually, I forgot to do a step. See, this is why I need guided cooking. I forgot to add the spice mix. So I'm going to just pop it back in.
I'm exactly the same. I always forget steps when I'm cooking manually.
I'm just used to guided cooking now. Like, I hardly ever do manual cooking. All right, so we add in a spice mix. In the recipe, it asks, well, it says you could use an, I don't even know, how do you say it, Claire?
Ras el hanu. Ras el hanu. Has anyone made that before?
It's supposed to be like a Mexican spice blend. It's in the new book. I didn't want to make another spice blend because I got so many in the pantry. So I'm just using, this is just a curry spice blend that's actually in the Cooking for Me new cookbook that's used on the curried almonds in that book as well, which I love the curried almonds. I don't know how many of you have tried it, but I do recommend it. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of that. And then mix again.
Kate, I'll just share the spice blends it suggests. So it says you can use korma spice blend, the Christmas spice mix, 5 spice powder, and then the Ras el hanu. So there's sort of some suggestions, but obviously any that you have.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what kind of flavors you like as well. All right, let's try again.
Something.
All right, so
you go, Kate.
spread them. You can see that. They actually smell really good. They're going to make my kitchen smell good in the oven. So I'll pop those in for, what did I say, 15 minutes? And I'll set a timer because otherwise I'll forget. What were you going to say, Claire?
I was going to say it also in the book shares like spice combinations. So it tells you, you know, if you like Indian, Thai, Middle Eastern, it gives you sort of the flavor combos. So it's teaching you about food as well. But if you've got Julie Jobson in the room with you, then she seems to know a lot. You just like pick up the phone and say, hey, Julie.
Next up, I'm making super simple. It's just a quick herb paste. So this is just so you're not wasting any, herbs in your garden. I don't know about all of you, but I often have herbs in the fridge that's sort of looking a little bit sad. So this is just a really good way to use them up. I actually raided my mum's veggie garden for this, so I didn't pay for any of these. I've got basil, parsley, a little bit of dill, and then I've just got some tops of spring onions as well. So that's going to go in. So we need 60 grams. Again, I didn't pre-weigh, so we'll see. You can use really any herbs for this. It just says in the tips not to use like the harder herbs like rosemary and thyme, because it doesn't sort of blend as well. There you go, look at that, 62 grams. We're also going to chuck in some garlic. So I've got just 2 cloves there. And it says a long green chili. I just had a jalapeno chili in the fridge, so that's going to go in as well. We're going to add some salt, so just a teaspoon. And that's it. So we're going to blend that for 10 seconds on speed 7. So I stopped that because I heard the change in the Thermomix. It was no longer chopping. All right, so we've got our herbs chopped. We're just going to scrape down. All right, next up, we're going to set the timer for 1 minute, speed 4. And while it's doing that, I've got 100 grams of oil just to pour through the whole of the lid. This is just to emulsify the sauce a little bit. So do that. I really don't like this manual cooking thing. So just pour it slowly so that it trickles between the measuring cup and the lid through the gap. I'm usually pretty impatient with this type of thing. I usually just pour the oil all on the lid, and it turns out fine. My mayonnaise is fine. If you haven't tried doing homemade mayonnaises or anything like that in your Thermomix, I highly recommend it. There's nothing tastes better. Once you have homemade mayonnaise, you'll never eat shop bought again.
Claire, while Kate's doing that, I've just got to put my veggies back in now with that cooked spice mixture and vinegar. So pour them in and stir it around. And pop that back on for another 5 minutes at 80 degrees on reverse speed stir. All right, so we'll see, and then that goes straight into the jar afterwards and then turn it upside down. That's easy. I was just thinking this could be one that people would really love, like people that want to save money and like doing relishes and pickles and things like that at a demo. You could do like a pizza bianca or something first, and then in that 10 minutes while that vinegar mixture was cooking, you could roll it out and get that in the oven. And then you could even taste just a little bit of this as it's still hot at the end on that bread before you put the lid on and let it pickle. Anyway, back to you, Kate.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. All right, my herb paste is done. So I'm just going to pop it into a jar. Just some ideas for this herb paste, what you can do with it. So really good to stir through like pastas or to use as like a pizza base. Or even just if you want to whip it up with a block of cream cheese, just for a, you know, a quick herby garlic cheesy dip. And depending on what herbs you use, like if you use more of a coriander base for your quick herb paste, you could use it as a side for like a curry. It'd probably go really well with Elman's sweet potato korma. But yeah, I'm not sure what else you could have it on.
Could you make herb butter? Could you make herb butter with it?
Yeah, herb butter.
You could, yeah, that's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah. Yeah. You could even to preserve in the fridge, just pour a little bit of olive oil over the top and that seals it. So, I mean, in the book, it says it lasts for a week. I personally, whenever I make stuff like this at home, it lasts for heaps longer than that. So don't be scared if it's older than a week. You're not going to die of food poisoning if you eat it, as long as it's got nothing growing on it. But if you do want to freeze it, you can freeze it in ice cube trays and just defrost it when you need it.
Hey, could you make the white bean dip with it if someone didn't like chimichurri with the coriander?
You sure could, Julie. I know you like your chimichurri, but yes,
I do, but not everyone loves coriander as much as I do.
Only 50% of the population like coriander.
All right, everyone do an emoji if they do a thumbs up emoji if they like coriander.
How do you do that? Can I just put my hand up?
Bottom of your screen where it says reactions.
All right, there's not many. Sorry, you guys are like outvoted.
Like 2 people.
No, I think because there's lots in the chat. There was a mixture. I think that there's more that like it than don't, Claire.
I was going to say, I think people just don't know how to use the emoji.
Hang on, wait, I know how to use the emoji. You ready?
See, everybody just physically stick your hand up if you like coriander. There's way more hands in the air. There's way more hands in the air.
We win.
I want to welcome Jill, who's on tonight. Hi, Jill. Welcome to our class. So Jill's also a VIP special guest coming to join us tonight. Quick activity before we jump over to Elizabeth. This is called a mix shop show and tell. So go and grab your favorite mix shop item quickly and run back.
Does the Thermomix count?
No, that is not a mix shop item.
Yes, it is.
My kitchen's too far away. I'm very comfortable.
Oh, Beck. Well, let's play a song while we wait. What should we do? One of these.
Snap, Megan.
I'll go and find another one.
The club isn't the best place to find the lovers, so the bar is where I.
All right, hold them up if you've got them.
My friends at the table doing shots, tripping fast, and then we talk slow.
Renee, do you not have any mix shop items?
Just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, they're all packed away.
Right. Okay, all right. All right, what have we got? We've got Megan, what have you got there? Oh, cherry pitter.
Yeah, I don't use it that often, but when I do, and with little kids that eat cherries and spit red stuff everywhere when they're trying to get the pip out, I love this thing. I had a lot of fun using this when I first got it.
Yep, and it does olives too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Elman, you've got a cupcake pan. Beautiful. So if you've got the donut tray, so good to use for that. Annie's got one of the special spatulas that is not the Woolwork one. but very popular. Who else has one of those? Oh, Julie. Who else has the spatula? Okay, Ben, what have you got? That's the rose gold tray?
The rose gold and the baking mat. The baking mat's the best thing ever made.
Yeah, and I see that it's well loved as well. Anna's got
Very
the
well
same. And the eco brush. Nice. Philippa, your toolkit, what do you love about it?
Everything. I'm getting another one too. Yes. The scissors for the garden and obviously stuff in the house. We take it when we go like do picnics and whatnot, or we'll just grab a barbecue chook for the family, and then you've actually got something that can cut it up. You got a little knife in there. You've got the spreader, but you've also got the serrated edge on it as well. So if you do need to actually cut anything when you're out, like you've got everything you need. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
They are so good. All right, hold them up, bottom of the screen. You don't know who you are because we've all got different orders. Okay, blade cover peeler, Liz, amazing. Yep, we love those, don't we? Meters, how many meters have we got? Christina, oh, no, Carmela's got a blade cover peeler as well, awesome. Elizabeth's got the cleaver. Oh my God, how good is it? I love it as well.
So good. It's really good.
See her whack the chicken?
There's a great instructional video on Pinnacle of how to debone a chicken if you want to go check out a professional.
I don't know if it's deboning or like hacking away.
You know what I was going to say? I was like, because my aim was so bad, I was going to say, right, I challenge you, Claire, to have a go. And then I realised that you are a really good hockey player and probably do have much better aim than me.
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't vouch for the hand.
It is quite hard. Like just, I don't know, getting this to chop where you want it to really fast.
So that knife that you guys are all earning this month for 4 sales is amazing for cabbage, watermelon, rockmelon, pumpkin, anything that's big and requires a heavy duty knife.
Yeah, we did a full pumpkin tonight. We made that the pumpkin curry that Anna shared on her story tonight, and this was so good for that. It's really good.
I love that pumpkin curry. Amazing.
What about opening coconuts with it?
Oh, I haven't tried.
It's pretty solid. I reckon you could do it. Yep. All right. Any other items that we haven't talked about yet? Oh yes, Vicky. Do you want to share what that is? Because I don't think everyone's seen that one.
Oh, it's a cleaning brush. It's not very expensive, but it's really good to clean the Thermomix. I love it.
Yep. I know Jody swears by that.
I tell all my customers to get one.
And where do you use it on the Thermomix?
I use this around the handles at the top, and I use this around the button. I don't know if you ever clean the button really well, and then I just sweep in around the base inside the unit, and it comes up really good. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Anything else we haven't seen already? Okay, cool. All right, over to you, Elizabeth.
And I just mine just finished, so I've just popped it into my 1 litre jar, so it's almost 1 litre. Screwed the lid on, and I'll just pop that upside down to cool so that it gets a good sear on it, and wait patiently for a month.
Or just don't.
There's no way you're waiting a month. I can tell you that now.
Probably not. It says that once it's opened, sorry, it will keep in the fridge for up to a month as well. So
maybe you should make a second one, and so you can sit one aside and have one to eat now
and compare it. That's probably a very good idea.
Yeah,
I think you should make one every week, maybe.
Yeah,
that might happen too.
All right, guys, I am doing the nut butter. So I prepped this by just roasting off some nuts, and I did a mixture of almonds, cashews, and Brazil nuts, which is an ABC nut butter. I think you can probably work out why it's called that. I really like the Brazil nuts, because they're high in selenium, which is really good for anti-anxiety. And you don't want to have more than 3 or 4 a day, because you can have too much selenium in your diet. But they're really good if you want to sneak them into anyone's foods. There we go, and are good for thyroid too. So if you're feeling a little bit anxious, try some Brazil nuts or use them in a nut butter. You could even just put a couple in with the kids' peanut butter if you want to just take the edge off things as well. So 300 grams is just roasted just for 10 minutes. Mine probably went a little bit over. I was doing a delivery while they were in the oven. But yeah, they're nice and dark, so that's good. And so we're doing, we'll do the basic nut butter, then I'm going to take half out and I'll do half sweet and spicy. So you just want to cool them, and then we're going to put them in just in the bowl, and I'll show you in a minute, although you know exactly what that looks like. Okay, so they go in, and it's 1 minute speed 8. So I might go on mute, I think, while that happens, so that you guys can actually talk, because this will be quite loud.
That's fine. Carmela, you've told us to speed up. Is that because you're like playing with the reactions, or do you genuinely want us to speed up?
Playing with the reactions.
All right. I think
but you can speed up if you really want to. How do I get rid of it?
I don't know. I did allow that.
Click on it again. Yeah, in the reactions, it'll go.
I'll just do it. Yep, that's it.
Yeah. But guys, also Anna.
Do each of these have like save waste in some way? Like obviously with Kate, she was talking about how you roast the pumpkin from the seeds, but like how is Elizabeth saving waste, or is it not really?
Great question. The nuts that your children don't eat and leave lying around the house.
So not all of them are specifically that, they're just...
No, I think this one is about pantry. So it's basically using up pantry stuff. So the section of this is pantry, and it's got almond, it goes from nut butter dressings. So using up leftover pulp from making almond milk, how to do that, blend nuts and all that kind of stuff, experiment by grinding milk. Yeah. So
I suppose if your nuts needed to be used, if they were getting to the end of life, instead of chucking them out, you could make the nut butter with it.
Yeah, because they do go a bit rancid, I've noticed.
I need to do a pantry audit and cook what I've got in there. So yeah.
I think also this is done, hold on, did I come off mute? Yeah. You know you're alive when you blend nuts for a minute on speed 8, that's for sure. Look at how nice and dark this is. So we were doing a demo down at the Source last week, and we used nut butter in our recipe, and we were going to make it there, and then I thought, well, it might be a bit noisy since we're in the middle of a shop, so we didn't. We bought their nut butter, which for about this size was $12. Like, you know, I think that I'll be happy to make it forever after that.
Less waste of money, less money waste.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take about half out. That's not what the recipe says, but I do want some plain nut butter because I love the caramel crunchy, what's it called? Caramel, I've got it here. Caramel almond cashew slice that uses the nut butter. I'm just going to put that in the chat for you guys. That's a really nice recipe. That's the one that we were making at the Source. And it's just a no cook kind of slice and is really, really tasty. So I want some plain nut butter for that. But I actually also even thought maybe the spicy sweet nut butter might be pretty cool in there. You know how you like that chili chocolate kind of flavor? So I thought that might be nice. So all we're going into the rest is just some chili flakes and some maple syrup, although I only had rice malt syrup. So that's what I'm using instead, which will be just the same. So probably any sweetener will do there. And so this will be a nice sweet and spicy one. But just before I do that, I want to show you the live that I did last night. I made the vegan pulled pork, which is made out of banana peels. And so it doesn't make much, and they were pretty small bananas, but that's it. We didn't have any yet. And so that's the pulled pork. Like, it looks really cool, hey? And you can go onto Facebook and check out the video of that, and how to make that. And that's actually on Cookie Do already in the US site. So
Vicky, so Elizabeth, Vicky was just asking what that was.
What does it taste like? Yeah.
Oh, was it taste like?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it tastes good. It's
Yeah,
like
my daughter's vegan, so
yeah, she'll like it. I mean, I haven't eaten pork in probably 20 years, 15 years or something. So I don't know if it actually tastes like pork, but it's good. Yeah. All right, what are we doing? So I'm just going to grind this again, which is another like minute, and you probably don't even need to see the finished product. So it's just grinding it for another minute. Now, the other thing that I just wanted to talk to you guys about was that this is grinding it on speed 8 for about a minute, whereas you'll know if you've made peanut butter, it's much lower on about a speed 4 and it goes for longer. So you've got that option with your nut butters, whether you do it quickly or slowly. And then some of the other variations that are really cool in this book is you've got a chai spiced nut butter as well. So, and it says that that's nice on pancakes or alongside fruit as a dip. I think that would be really good because, you know, apple slices in peanut butter is really good. So a chai spice one with some fruit would be delicious. There's a little picture here in the book of the butter with some blueberries on toast. So lots of nice things. But yeah. So just making your nut butter and making that that one that I just put in the chat. Also, the other recipe that I'll use nut butter in is, it's not on Cookie Do and it's a paid one out of Quirky Jo's cookbook, but her nutty chocolate, is that what it's called? The nutty chocolate, something like that.
I think so.
That's got nut butter in it and it's really nice as well. If you've got the Life-Changing Food Cookbook from Jo Whitton.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite chocolates to make.
I've got some in the fridge. It's nice because I had that nut butter that I needed to use up.
The other thing I like in the pantry section of this book is the almond milk powder. So it makes this, which is like an almond milk powder. And then if you want to have like a smoothie or something, you just add the almond milk powder and add water. So instead of, you know, using a shop bought almond milk or having to make almond milk, and it uses almonds, arrowroot, salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, which is optional. And then you just cook it up. I think you fry it, then you mill it and you've got your powder. And then
that's great.
Yeah.
Because also what you can buy, which is quite expensive, it comes in a jar about that size. Have you seen that the nut milks that are like a base and you blend it up?
Yeah.
And they're quite expensive. I've never actually used it. I think that they would make a beautiful milk, but like it's like at least $20 for a 300 ml jar size. Yeah, and with a Thermomix, with how easy it is to make nut butters, you wouldn't do it, but people with a blender would. So
my sister-in-law had those for when we go over to visit, and so that she didn't have to keep buying nut milks, but they're actually like in tea, they're really sedimenty. They're not ideal.
And we tried the chocolate one at Christmas. It was after Christmas. And we were like, oh my gosh, what is this? And just tasted like watery with lumpy chocolate bits through it.
Gross.
All right, I'm going to go blend this. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Awesome. All right, who's got a story to share before we go over to Elman's is yours finished yet, Elman?
It's almost finished, another 2 minutes to go. But I just want to give you a little tip about, you know, when you make the skins, because that's when no waste is included in there, because you use the sweet potato skins and you fry it, but don't turn your back on them that I did, because it burns very quickly, right? But it's beautiful and crispy, the nice crunch to it, and it tastes divine. And that is basically what you put on top of your curry, just to decorate it and give that little bit of crunch. that's happening there. So I've got another 2 minutes to go.
I love that. Just not wasting the skin of the sweet potato. That's so cool. And we eat skin on wedges and stuff, right? So nice.
They're the best. They're the best bits.
Yes, yes. Okay, a story. Who's got one from a cooking experience or delivery or just something exciting that's happened?
You know, I've got one that it's happened a couple of times now over the last little while. I don't know if you know how sometimes you notice something and then you keep noticing it, but I think it's also because I've been upgrading a lot of my TM5 customers and just hearing about what the Thermomix has done for them as over the years and why they're upgrading. And so many of them, like, it's really like cooking is their therapy, and they especially find that the Thermomix has been so helpful because it's easy to use, so that when they're overwhelmed and cooking is a good de-stress thing for them, cooking with the Thermomix is that much better. So I've got some customers, one even her son passed away and the husband upgraded her because he just said that the Thermomix was what got her through, and she just cooked and cooked and cooked. And so they decided to upgrade so that she could just keep using it and loving it even more. That was the first story. And then just more and more, I've just noticed people saying how much the Thermomix has gotten them through. And yeah, I just feel very blessed to be bringing that to people. I had no idea, you know, for me, it's a bit of a time saver and a money saver, but for other people, it's like really, really helping them like on a mental health kind of level. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm sure there's more people out there than we know. Julie.
I've got one that I sold to someone who's very high up in the department she works in, and she uses it as stress relief. And she said it's helped her at work because she'll show up and it makes her stop working a bit over the weekends, and she makes things and takes them in. And she said she's actually just bought a black one as well. I was amazed, you know. I had to really encourage her with the first, but now she can't imagine not having one. And she's got a second place, so she's bought one for there. But yeah, and she didn't ever see herself as a cook, or would never have taken homemade food somewhere, and now she does all the time.
Very satisfying being able to provide those opportunities for people. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Julie. Elman, you ready?
Yes, I am. All right. So the last 2 minutes that I cooked it, I just basically add some peas, a teaspoon of garam masala on it, as well as some spinach, baby spinach leaves. And this is what it looks like. Can you see that? The sauce, like, it looks and smells divine, and I can imagine it's going to taste divine too. Just be careful when you pour it out that your blade cover doesn't fall off on you. Right, so there you go. Can you see that? All right, so basically just stir that through, and this is beautiful vegetable based korma, and this is where you can go and put in your crispy sweet potato crisp if you didn't burn it too much like I did, but that will give you that extra crunch, and that's where you can serve that, and you will have a beautiful, beautiful flavored vegetable korma, and using up the skin and have nothing to waste with it. I just lick my fingers. It's beautiful. Worthwhile to make that one.
Yum. Thank you, Elman. Can't wait to try that. And I'm looking on the hunt for more vegetarian recipes too.
I was going to say, everyone who's in Canberra, lunch at Elman's house tomorrow.
Yeah. Unless you're going to Sydney and for the Go Getters Nico class, because then we're having lunch in Sydney.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll send you guys all of the photocopies of the recipes. Well, that's an old terminology, but images of the recipes So I'm going to show you, Ilham couldn't make it tonight, but she wanted to participate. So she's done a video of the berry and polenta porridge. So I will screen share that, and hopefully Zoom is nice to us.
So today I'm making the berry and polenta porridge. So I'm bringing up the scales so that I can weigh in 550 grams of water. Now I'm weighing in 200 grams of milk. You can use in whatever milk you prefer. I'm just using full cream milk here. Now we're adding in a 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So that's 1/2 teaspoon, and then another 1/4 teaspoon. And now I'm weighing in 60 grams of honey. And we'll be cooking that for 7 minutes at 90 degrees on speed 1. So this is the brand of polenta I'm using today, just the traditional brand. And I'm weighing in 130 grams of the polenta. And we'll be cooking that for 10 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 4. So this is what it looks like currently. I'm scraping down the sides of the bowl. So I'm putting the mixing bowl back into the housing, and then I'm going to be weighing in 200 grams of yogurt. Today I'm using Greek yogurt, but you can use whichever yogurt you prefer. So now that's going to mix for 10 seconds at speed 4. So look at this delicious end result. I'm just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl again. And then we're going to be pouring them into the our serving bowls. Top with berries of choice. I'm using strawberries today because that's all I had. And then I'm adding roughly chopped almonds. You can use whatever nuts you prefer. And then a drizzle of honey and a dollop of yogurt. And serve immediately.
There you go. So that one is it's got milk, cinnamon, honey, polenta, yogurt. So it is gluten-free, but it's not dairy-free unless you change the milk, which would be totally fine. And Ilham said if you're not going to eat it straight away, but you want it to be a little bit smooth, to keep it stirring on speed 4. Just otherwise, she said it hardens and gets a little bit like jelly. So yeah, just wait till you're going to serve it and then stop it from stirring. And how lovely was Ilham? She got COVID this week and she's pretty much been in bed the whole week, and she still wanted to do a video for us. So yes, she's definitely a team player, and I'll let her know that everyone enjoyed her berry and polenta porridge. So that, I think, do we have anything else we need to show? We've completed everything. Awesome. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Lots of tips in this book, lots of inspiration, things that you don't get when you have Cookie Do, right? You miss all of the little notes and tips and tricks and things where it tells you to go here and go there. So, and also at the front of the book teaches you about other things, you know, composting, beeswax wraps, that sort of thing. So get your hands on the book. If you haven't earned it yet, you've got until the 15th. And yeah, thanks so much for joining. We'd love to do more of these with you guys. It's fun hanging out. And thank you, Jill, who's our extra tonight, for being here with us. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them. Otherwise, have a great night and weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ben.
See ya. Thank you.
See you, Anna.
Bye.
Yeah, Ilham does the recorded videos really well.
It's really good. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what program she uses?
Looks like it's just on her phone, doesn't it? Or not?
I don't know. Well, she's done the voiceover separately.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, whatever, then it stops immediately without glitching. So I was just wondering how she does that.
You know what worked really well in the cooking class she did? She did the voice, like she just played the video with no sound and she talked through it.
Oh, yeah, nice.
In the class.
Yeah.
So, you know, if Zoom was glitchy, it wouldn't matter because she's presenting basically, but showing the video. Yeah, I just thought it was easier to see what she was doing when there was a video as opposed to, you know, a Thermomix in the background. Yeah, anyway. I thought that...
You know who invited you?
Hang on.
You're still recording.
Yeah.